Hello, this is the Millenium Chess Genius Pro, the successor to the Chess Genius. Supposed strength around 2200, about $200. There's sometimes you can get it cheaper, and there's a fancier wood edition with wood pieces. So the strengths of this are that it's really portable. It's battery operated, pieces don't move. It's very simple to use. It's got a really simple interface. Almost everything you need to do is under menu or one of these buttons. The buttons are pretty logical. Sometimes icons are kind of confusing, but the little squares like the play button, power, the dimmer, and basically question mark gives you some help for the game. And these are cursors to navigate the menu. Very simple. It's very similar to some of Millenium Chess's current modern products. If I didn't say it's $200, which puts it above a lot of cheaper electronic chess sets. So what do you get for that? You get the higher rating, the 2200 rating. Modern color LCD, very easy to read. That shows you the board position at all times and where the pieces are moving. Even with my 60-year-old eyes and wearing glasses, I can see this very well. It is standalone and totally standalone. You not only do you not need a phone, you never need this, but you cannot hook it up to anything. So you can save games, but you can't transfer the games. You have to transfer the games manually, like on chess.com. So the market for this is, I think, someone who simply just doesn't want to have their phone all the time, or worries, some years in the future, suddenly, none of the software is supported and you have a dead product, which absolutely happens in technology. How well built electronics are, you can never tell, but it's a fairly low power microprocessor thing, and some of these things last for a really long time. 1970s chess computers, electronic chess computers, are still working. If you want a stronger opponent than 2200, you got to look elsewhere. If you want a weaker opponent, you could go down to like Millenium Chess Champion 2.0. If you want to spend more money on like Millenium products, they make some fancier products like the King Performance and the exclusive board and such things. And if you want to play online, this is not the product for you. I don't know if I showed you, but it's very good magnets. I love this. I can play it anywhere. I can play it while watching movies in bed, which I do sometimes, so I think it's really nice. If for some reason you are having to stay at a hospital or something, God forbid, you could probably play this if you felt well enough. I think it's a very nice product. I think some people will balk at the $200 price, but I think you get a really nice product, and I think it is definitely elevated above, your cheaper Von sets and Lexa books and stuff. However, you can always go online and buy used stuff and, of course, save money that way too. You can buy old 1990s standalone chess computers, and they're pretty nice. So, this is the modern color LCD thing with the really nice user interface. I think it's hard to have a better user interface on a $200 board. Okay, so it runs the Chess Genius software, which has been around forever. Richard Lang wrote it. It competed in tournaments long ago, and who knows whether last time the Chess Genius was updated. Some of the more expensive Millenium products run the King, which is more flexible. Supposedly it plays more human-like. The King software was used in the Chessmaster boards. So hopefully, that covers the main things. The pieces are pieces. They're plastic. They're kind of skinny, really skinny kings and queens. And I think the reason for this is maybe because small squares, but maybe they thought it'd be a little easier to pick them up if they were, made this way. I can't speak for them. The black pieces are actually a dark green. I suppose it's supposed to look like jade. I think it's kind of dumb, but, I don't hate it. I just think it's dumb. So I was just going to show you a few things and using actual play. And I'm just going to say one time, and I'm not going to say it again, I'm a weak chess player. I'm going to make mistakes when I play chess. So if you want to see a good chess player, I would stop watching the video now. If you are like me and you are a casual chess player, just trying to exercise your brain and chill out, maybe you want to see this. So I'm going to go to the menu, and what I'm going to do is show you a feature. First, I'm going to set the play level, and I'm on Fun Level 2, which is it's the second easiest level in the game. It's in the fun levels, which make blunders periodically. They don't seem to make a lot of egregious blunders. Maybe Fun 01 does. Fun 02 just makes mistakes, intentional mistakes, and its depth is limited. But sometimes I lose, even on this level, but sometimes I win. So it seems about right. If I improve my game, I'd be playing at a harder level, which this will happily oblige. And now, because I like to play the Italian game, I will force the Italian game. So I'm going to go to two-player analysis mode, and I'm going to force some moves. Sometimes you got to push down a little hard. Not real hard, but sometimes I just don't. Let's just say that you have to be a little authoritative with your pressure. So I'm going to make the standard sort of book move, Italian game mainline. Then I'm going to switch to it, and I am going to say move now. That's the second item from the top of the menu. And unsurprisingly, it goes knight to f6. So I will castle, I think. And they will go for the throat. And by they, I mean the computer. I don't really think they're a human being or a person or an entity of any kind. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Okay. That's seemingly okay. I will just so far this all seems pretty reasonable. Because I put this game in analysis mode, it is actually giving me scores. Right now, it will show me all the moves, and I think I might have forgot to say you can save 10 games in memory, which if you need to get them out of any memory onto like a online analysis tool, you will have to do it manually. But I hit the red button, there's an I for information, so I can see all the moves, and I can see that it's currently doing a depth of 5 analysis, and the score is minus 0.25. I simply can never remember, unless I'm clearly winning or it's clearly winning, who gets the positive and who gets the negative score. But it's in the manual, I believe. Speaking of the manual, some people did have some, found the manual hard to read. I personally did not. And I think it's kind of pretty obvious once you hit the menu button what your options are. But we all vary, but I thought I'd throw that out. Some people did find the manual confusing. I don't know if I should go, on D3 here. Let me go D3. So I kind of double press sometimes, which I think I will. I'd like to develop the bishop. I'm never sure where to put my bishop. And I might transfer my knight to e4. I might just try to do that. I think at very least it doesn't look like a blunder. And I will, okay. The computer does not want me to transfer without a fight. Is that okay? Well, you know what? I'm going to do it anyway, even if it's not okay. Okay. That was interesting. I sort of didn't expect that. Okay. It seems not like a crazy idea there. But now looking at this, why wouldn't I just take the Knigget on d5? I don't see any reason not to take the Knigget. Maybe this is a mistake. And we will be all sorts of aggressive here. Now what I'm thinking about, if I just want to take the knight on c6 and double up black's pawns and then say the bishop takes. No, because I don't defend d3 twice. I think I have to do this. Okay, queen goes back here. If queen goes back here and I take on c6, I still don't get to double the pawns. So I should look at developing the bishop. Now it has given me a bad move. It really doesn't like me because it's saying that this would result in the score going to minus 4.90. You can turn this off, I believe, but you do indeed get a bad move tutor here. I'm just trying to understand why it's a bad move. If the bishop takes, I recapture. With the pawn. If the bishop takes the pawn, I recapture. I'm just going to let it roll. I'm going to hit ignore. And see what terrible thing it thinks is going to happen here. It is giving me a score of -5. It does indeed seem like I lost a piece somewhere. So I think we will move the queen to d2. Seems like I was asleep at the wheel at some point and dropped an entire piece. 2 points really though. I'm a little surprised it's -4 because in terms of just raw material, I am down 2 points. So d4 is attacked 3 times. And I can also attack it 3 times, so I'm going to give this a shot, see what happens. Queen retreats. So I'm trying to think. Black will probably bring rook into play, maybe d8. And then black would be attacking the d4 square 3 times, although 3 times with heavier material. Well, actually, would that be 4 times with the e5 pawn? Yeah, that all of a sudden that's gonna fall. Although, you know, I'm just not going to calculate. I'm not that great at it. I'll just take. So if I go queen to d5, then maybe rook to b8 and double defend that pawn. That doesn't seem like a good plan. If I take the knight, black's pawn is sort of isolated there. Well, I'm unclear on the wisdom of that plan, but yeah, well, F2 is being assaulted here. In no way can I just accept that. Okay, well, bad move. Well, I'm sure there's plenty of reasons why that's a bad move. Now that I think about it, why didn't I just... Oh, I see. I can't... Okay, that queen's just too annoying. I'm going to try to exchange. Give me a little warning there since I don't press it down very well there. Well, somewhere in there I seem to have gone up some material. So maybe a negative score is actually good for me. That's what I'll admit, when I was saying that, I can never remember what is what with all that. Black is just maneuvering the king. That doesn't seem good for black. So black can't go to h7, but it's probably not a back rank. But I am up material, so I should exchange. Do I want... I'm going to take this rook. Maybe not the droids I'm looking for there. Move there. A3. Yes, that is very logical. And again, very logical. So at that point, I should give an escape square and engage my rook here. Putting the king into play, maybe I should be doing that too. Wish I didn't have a rook protecting that pawn. Okay, I don't know if I should take or no, I don't think I should take at all. Either they're going to lock up the pawns or they're going to take, and then I'm going to retake with c3. Yeah, I don't know how to play this exactly. I have one idea here. Right. I figured black had to be really careful there. Just trying to figure out how to play h7 here. Now I'm trying to make sure there's not a stalemate there. Yes, it was painful, but there you go. There's a game with Chess Genius Pro versus Potzer. Thanks for watching.